took pictures of his pissing his pants and put it on Twitter. And they were like, you got to take it down. He's trying to redo his image. And they're like, he pissed his pants while he was talking to people.
You failed. You're not going to redo your image.
Like, what image? Did you ever hear when I called in?
You call I love when you call in.
I mean, sorry. Specifically, the Iron Sheik was there, and I called in. I said, what's going on? Because I just had woken up with the baby, and they go, the Iron Sheik's here. I go, let me talk to him.
They talk about you doing this. Yeah.
How about I kick the shit out of you? He goes, fuck you, you motherfucker. I'll fuck you in your ass, and you make you love me. Every threat he had involved him having sex with my anus. And I realized maybe he's a hoarder, maybe I'm a hoarder, and we need to go out and meet in the bars and get our act together and get Blondie tattooed to our backs. And out came a man from Mars where the people meet.
Jackson's going to love this.
You asked them to give... So they have fake names on your podcast,
yes,
5 decisions
But
away.
I know that they're good friends of mine. I've known them for a long time, so it's weird for me to like call them these different names.
Right, but not you further complicate it. Because not only do they have fake names, but then you ask them to come up with like alias names. So Jackson, somebody was Cool Hand.
No, I said we should have our own fake. If these guys have fake names, me and my co-host Cabell should have them. So Cabell was Cool Hand.
I couldn't understand what you're Spotty.
Yeah, I'm Spotty Showers, the porn weatherman.
Spotty Showers, the
Spotty
porn
Showers.
weatherman?
Yeah, I love it because now when people, like, I get all these tweets, they're like, I saw you on the news this morning. I saw you in the weather this morning. So, like, I've gotten into people's mind now. Anytime the weatherman says Spotty Showers, they think Matt Paxton, porn weatherman.
I like when the guy said, what's his name? Cabell?
Cabell.
It goes, call me Cool Hand. And you go, like, Cool Hand Luke? And I'm doing the dishes, and out loud I go, no. Yeah. He works in a morgue. He's an ice cream man, you fucking
like, is there another Cool Hand?
Like, what do you mean? And the poor guy's got to go, well, yeah.
Cabell's a little slow. I mean, he's not the
But you were
quickest.
the slow one on that day.
Yeah.
You really were like Cool Hand Luke? No. He's a refrigerator.
I'm not saying we're smart. We just start talking.
He's a refrigerator repairman.
I'm not
All right, so you see Sergeant Slaughter at a funeral. Yeah. He's not wearing a singlet. Is he dressed in flannel?
No, full suit, like legit nice suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's a barrel-chested.
This is a true story. Like, this is a legit.
I know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go down this road if it was fake. And he's a 5'8" barrel-chested guy.
Let's say 5'10". Big guy, though. Big guy. Still giant. Very fit.
Wow. And he's a Richmond boy.
He lives there now. I don't know if he's from there or not. He's got a gym there.
You said something when we were on the podcast together. You said you can't, you said you can't outthink a hoarder.
Correct.
And that stayed with me. And I, to this day, think you're out of your mind. But if you're removing things from a house, that's not outthinking a hoarder. That's outworking a hoarder.
Go ahead.
And then you said you'll never outwork a hoarder. And I'm like, well, if every time they come home, do you remember what I said? I go, they go to bed, you just take the entire house, empty it, just tip the house over and shake it out.
Which is the worst thing you could do.
Why?
Because they think for a long-term solution of cleaning a home and keeping it clean, that's the worst thing you could do.
Why?
Because they'll think that you stole things, and it won't actually.
I didn't steal them. Yeah. I threw everything away.
Yeah, but in their mind, it's stolen.
I'm telling you, you're the hoarder.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Matt, all your stuff went to the Goodwill and to the garbage.
Yeah, and then I'll go back tomorrow and get it. That's
where are you going to go?
They'll go to the garbage. They'll go to the Goodwill.
All right, but then
I've had ladies literally go back to. We've sold it at auction. And they're at the front of the auction with the thing,
just to
like
get their
the
creepy dolls back.
They buy all their shit back. I had one lady. This is when we decided no longer to help a second time. We cleaned out her entire house. Found at the very bottom of her hoard. It took us like 2 weeks. We get to the bottom of the hoard, and she had a Dick Clark autograph collection. Like this huge scrapbook before there were scrapbooks. One was John F. Kennedy, one was Dick Clark.
Did she have John F. Kennedy autographs?
No, it was like pictures. And I don't know if there was an autograph, but she definitely had a ton of Dick Clark. She'd been writing Dick Clark since she was 15 years old.
And Dick Clark apparently had that stroke way earlier than people thought, that he keeps firing off an autograph to the same fucking person.
Probably.
He wrote 400 autographs to the same lady in Van Nuys.
One day.
Poor Dick Clark. And then it just gets shakier.
I think he looks great on the New Year's Eve stuff.
He does. You know what? No one works harder than that guy. Well, you would think, if that was a relative of yours, wouldn't you say, don't put him on TV anymore. Yeah. Let him just be in the den watching the History Channel.
Let him just sit in the back and count his money.
Yes.
Why is he working still?
I don't know why. Like, does he even know? Does he have a sense of time and space? Like, I'm here. This is what's happening. Or maybe that's what keeps him alive.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants to. He's Dick Clark.
Look at Joe Paterno. They take him out of the program. He dies a week later.
Yeah.
It kept him alive. And like of cancer, like there was no one ever said like, hey, I think Joe Paterno has cancer. No, he's a football coach. The sexual abuse scandal hits. He gets fired.
I think it killed him. Absolutely.
He dies of cancer. It's like he had 1 week cancer.
I think he absolutely. I mean, I think it killed him that whole thing went down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think he was just distraught.
All right, so you're the hoarder. When you go out to the auction, I take everything in your house and hold on, and I take it to the Goodwill. I just get rid of it. You come home to a spotless house and freak out.
Yeah, it's hell. A spotless house is hell. You don't care. Family doesn't care.
But if you're an addict, this is what we talked about earlier too. If you're an addict, you just stop cold turkey. That's the only way to go.
That's when we get into trouble of like actually. There's a lot of the same behaviors between addiction and hoarding up to it, and then when you get started into solution, you can't go cold turkey. You actually have to wean them off.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not. It's all mental. It's not about the physical stuff, and you have to kind of walk them off the ledge. You got to ease them into it and start to let them see that they can do better with less things. So for me, like I'll spend an entire day getting rid of one item, just one item.
Do you pick the item because it's important to them? Can you identify what item is going to be like?
Yeah, I stack the deck absolutely. Like I'll look for something that I know is in their definition trash.
In your definition, trash?
No, in their definition trash. Because my definition, the whole fucking house is trash.
Oh,
but in their definition, I might see a diaper sitting there, and that's trash. No, that's my special diaper. I wore that on St. Patrick's Day. And so they want to keep that. So you got to find a different...
green diaper.
Yeah, it's a green diaper. So you got to find something different that they will say is trash.
Oh, I thought you were going to... But do you... All right, so when you see the entire hoard, you look at it like the Terminator, like...
Absolutely. I'm scouting the whole thing. I'm looking for what room I can start with, what's the easiest, what has most space. I'm looking for different things that'll show me. It's like that show Psych. You ever seen Psych?
Yeah.
When the guy and things like light up.
Yeah.
I'm looking for things that I can identify with the person. So I'm looking for hobbies. I'm looking for anything that I can relate to this person with. Because it's the ultimate sales job. I've got to basically become this lady's best friend in about 20 minutes. And if I don't do it in that 20 minutes, I'm out. She's going to move on to someone else.
Have you ever picked wrong and they just start hitting their head like Dustin Hoffman and Rain Man?
Pretty close. Hannah, the lady of the chicken hoarder. Chose wrong with her. She had 200 chickens in her bedroom and a goat in her bathtub.
Well, I was so happy. I want to talk about animal hoarding a lot. When you were on Howard Stern, you were talking about the guy that had the kiddie porn and then asked you to do the job again when he got out of jail. And I was so happy because you told me way cooler things than you. It's just the Bing from the child-proof house. You told me things that weren't on the Howard interview, like the fact, like you and I broke down mermaid porn.
Oh yeah. And
I was waiting for that to drop on Howard, and it just never came out. I'm like, yes, we got a way better story on Mohr Stories.
Well, I had time here. Yeah,
huh?
I thought I only had 8 minutes. They told me I had 8 minutes on Stern, and he talked the first 5.5 before I even got introduced. So I was like, I got 3 minutes max, and then he let it go for like 30.
But don't you think the guy had regular porn?
At one point, maybe he had regular porn. We were done with that by the first 2 inches.
Right. And then under that it started to go Disney porn.
Started Disney porn, then the mermaid porn, then the Polaroids. When we got to Polaroids, we were like, whoa.
Polaroid just sends piss shivers up my anus. Just you saying it like,
This isn't even like, this isn't like, hey, I'm going to take a picture of my dick.
You said it was violent.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not like I'm going to take a picture of my dick with my cell phone. You had to take a big old Polaroid and somehow position you and another younger person to take this Polaroid. Think of how difficult it would be to like take a quick shot with a big Polaroid and then thing had to like the picture come out and you got to shake it and all that stuff. It was a big
you said the word
thing.
You said the word violent on how
they were young children. That's when we were like, we're out.
Oh my God.
That's like, I said on Stern, like, I have guys that work for me that have killed other men. They're convicted murderers.
You like those guys, you said.
I love those guys. They're the best workers in the world. They do. They have everything to lose. So they don't want to go back to jail. And they've just spent, Ronnie spent 9 years in solitary. And
what?
Now, 9 years. First 9 years in solitary.
Why?
He got 5. First day of jail, he beat somebody up.
Who's Ronnie?
One of my guys works for me. He got into jail, killed a man, went to jail at 17. I'm fascinated by Ronnie because he's the same age as me. He went in my senior year of high school and just got out this July. So I think of all the stuff I've done in 20 years, he's sat in a fucking jail cell, right? And now he's working side by side with me in a house. He blows my mind. Like, I'm fascinated by this guy.
That's a guy that probably really enjoys the rain. Like, there's never a bad day for this guy. Like, it's pouring rain. He just feels it on his skin like, yes.
Well, we got him, like, he'd been out 2 weeks. His sister asked us to give him a chance. We gave him a day. We're like, we'll see how he does. And this guy's, he's wearing, like, old Filas and, like, jeans with, like, red stripes down the side.
He's wearing exactly
what he came out with. Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of like Eddie Murphy that day he came out of prison. What was that movie?
48 Hours.
48 Hours. Yeah, he just didn't. Ronnie didn't know what was up. He had missed 20 years.
Or when Michael Douglas comes out.
Yeah.
In Money Never Sleeps.
With Zach Morris's cell phone. Exactly.
That was a pretty good movie, man. I was surprised. Wall Street 2 was cool.
I heard it was good.
I liked it.
But now Ronnie's been out since July, and he's Americanized now, man. He's got a cell phone, and he's got a brand new cap that doesn't crease, and he's.
What nationality is Ronnie?
What do you think? 17-year-old guy that murdered a guy in Virginia.
I don't see color, dude.
Yeah, well, if you did, you would notice that Ronnie was black.
9
Most
years.
of those guys don't have dads. They were never given a chance. This guy, he was honestly, he was a drug dealer. He was just trying to make a living. And I said, what did you do? And he goes, well, it's him or me. I go, what do you mean? He goes, he tried to kill me the day before, so I had to kill him the next day, so he didn't kill me. I said, well, how'd you do it? He goes, well, I knew when he was leaving, so I snuck into his house, hid in his closet. And when he came in, I busted out and killed him. It's like, well, that's a little more than him or me.
How do you get caught? Like, don't you flee?
It was a small country town. It's probably like...
Darryl Wright sat in that chair, and he went to jail. He's a comic, and he went to jail for shooting a crackhead in the ass from across the street on his porch. And then the cops came, and he never said, like, hey, we should no longer sit on the porch because there's cops and there's a crackhead with a bullet in his ass. So, like, the machismo of just hanging out, and and I go, who fingered you? And he goes, the crackhead. And I'm like, so it was your word against the crackheads? He's like, yep. Yeah. And he did 2 years.
Only 2?
Yeah. I think the state of Maryland doesn't really care if you shoot crackheads.
No. So Ronnie did 20. Good guy. How are we even talking about Ronnie? I don't even know.
I don't know either, but he did 20 years, solitary confinement, 9 years.
Oh, the 9 years. So he went in first day. The people were trying to test him, so he beat the crap out of a guy. Got 5 years solitary. Came out, went 5 years in solitary. Came out, found the guy, beat the shit out of him again. Got 4 more.
I thought solitary was like a 30-day, 60-day thing. I didn't know they could put you in for years.
Years. It's Supermax. Years. So he was considered
he was in the shoe.
Yeah. It was less than a 10 by 10. Just sat there.
Lots of push-ups.
Yeah. It's all you should see this guy. He's fucking jacked.
You think there's hoarders in prison?
No.
They don't allow that, right?
No, I don't. He did say you could pretty much get anything you want. He was telling me there were guards that had babies with female guards that had babies with some of the prisoners.
Oh my God!
So you easily can get laid apparently in prison. Like the female guards are making like $200,000 a year, and the male guards are making like 25.
Really?
Yeah, because they sell it off.
Somebody said, I forget who said it. They said prison guards are doing life sentences 11 hours at a time.
I wouldn't want to.
Wow, what a horrible! As soon as they said that to me, I was like, oh my God, it's the worst job in the world.
Well, it's almost as bad as being in prison.
You are, yeah. Your job, you're in prison.
Yeah. And then you don't know if those guys are going to send someone to fuck you up.
Tom Hanks on the Actors Studio, they said, what do you think is the worst job? He said, lawyer. And then when James Lipton, scrumptulescent, Tom Hanks, inimitable, he said, why is lawyer the worst job? And Tom Hanks goes, it's the only job that you have homework. And that kind of messed my head. Like, oh my God, you don't even think about it. But you realize, like, lawyers are always coming home with those, like, rollers.
Yeah.
Like luggage, and they got to undo it, and they just, as soon as they get home, they got to get to work and prepare for the next day. Like the office is all shit for way down the line. Home is where you prepare.
This is the last job I'd want to do. A lawyer.
It's bad, right? This is the guy that shovels shit, and you found the 6-foot rat's nest with money in it.
I got the best job in the world. Every day's different.
How?
I get paid decent money. And I get okay money, really, not that great money. I get decent money. I never know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have no idea. It's always changing. And I'm
Matt-
helping people. I get immediate feedback on a daily basis that I've helped. I'm a needy person. So for me to get daily feedback online that I'm changing someone's life, that's my fuel. Like, I mean, my wife always makes fun of it because she's like,
you have a God complex. It's
No.
hero worship.
no, I used to really dig, like I wanted to be the guy that saved people. And now I've just learned you just got to give them the tools and just get out of the way. Like, it's not about me. It's about giving them the tools and then just being cool with that. But for me, I'm not going to lie. I got our own fake. If these guys have fake names, me and my co-host, Cabell, should have them. So Cabell was Cool Hand.
I couldn't understand what you Spotty.
Yeah, I'm Spotty Showers, the porn weatherman.
Spotty Showers, the
Spotty
porn
Showers.
weatherman.
Yeah, I love it because now when people, like, I get all these tweets, they're like, I saw you on the news this morning. I saw you in the weather this morning. So, like, I've gotten into people's mind now. Anytime the weatherman says Spotty Showers, they think Matt Paxton, porn weatherman.
I like when the guy said, what's his name? Cabell?
Cabell.
It goes, call me Cool Hand. And you go, like, Cool Hand Luke. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't go down this road if it was fake. And he's a 5'8" barrel chested
Let's
guy.
say 5'10". Big guy, though. Big guy.
And that's
Still
giant.
very fit.
Wow. And he's a Richmond boy.
He lives there now. I don't know if he's from there or not. He's got a gym there.
You said something when we were on the podcast together. You said you can't, you said you can't outthink a hoarder.
Correct.
And that stayed with me. And I, to this day, think you're out of your mind. I think but if you're removing things from a house, that's not outthinking. I just took pictures of his piss in his pants and put it on Twitter. And they were like, you got to take it down. He's trying to redo his image. And they're like, he pissed his pants while he was talking to people.
You failed. You're not going to redo your image.
Like, what image? Did you ever hear when I called in?
You call I love when you call in.
I mean, sorry. Specifically, the Iron Sheik was there, and I called in. I said, what's going on? Because I just had woken up with the baby, and they go, the Iron Sheik's here. I go, let me talk to him.
They talk about you doing this.
How about I kick the shit out of you? He goes, fuck you motherfucker. I'll fuck you in your ass, and you make you love me. Every threat he had involved him having sex with my aunt. I'm doing the dishes, and out loud I go, no. He works in a morgue. He's an ice cream man, you fucking
like, is there
dolt.
another Cool Hand?
What do you mean? And the poor guy's got to go, well, yeah.
Cabell's a little slow. I mean, he's not the
But you were
quickest.
the slow one on that day.
Yeah.
You really were like Cool Hand Luke? No. He's a refrigerator.
I'm not saying we're smart. We just start talking.
He's a refrigerator repairman.
I'm not
All right,
smart.
so you see Sergeant Slaughter at a funeral. He's not wearing a singlet. Is he dressed in flannel?
No, full suit, like legit nice suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he's a barrel
This is a
chested.
true story. Like, this is a legit.
I know. And I realized maybe he's a hoarder, maybe I'm a hoarder, and we need to go out and meet in the
together.
bars and get our act together and get Blondie tattooed to our backs. And out came a man from Mars, where the people meet.
Jackson's going to love this.
You asked them to give, so they have fake names on your podcast,
Yes.
5 decisions
But I
away.
know that they're good friends of mine. I've known them for a long time, so it's weird for me to, like, call them these different names.
Right, but not, you further complicate it. Because not only do they have fake names, but then you ask them to come up with, like, alias names. So Jackson, somebody was Cool Hand.
No, now I said we should have